move on.
All right. So college football news, a few different things. Khalil Taylor, he's 247, I think it is, or on three or Rivals. They have him going to Georgia now. Which
Georgia's in the lead. Yeah,
Georgia's in the lead. So
right now,
yeah, he like Keemon Spell, man. He's going to take his visits. I think he still comes to Penn State, but at the same time, I said that about Keemon Spell. So I don't know. We'll see. Again, we've been saying it on here. Penn State is not a destination right now. They're building relationships. These coaches, they're building relationships with all these recruits. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it's going to take some time. I give them 2 years. I mean, I think they're going to try to win. They're going all out immediately, but there's limitations to that. The late hiring of the coach, what the previous coach left us in before. There's a lot of factors that go into it. So it's just going to take some time, and that's it. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out with Khalil Taylor. Even if he does go to Georgia, doesn't come to Penn State, it is what it is, man. I mean, it's going to take Penn State some time. It really is. It's going to take Penn State some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Khalil Taylor's probably still we're still top on his list too. Yeah. I mean, it's early. We'll see. I mean,
I think he likes Penn State. Noah Paula leaving, I doubt helps at all.
No, they have to find somebody.
I doubt that. I'm sure that hurt it a little bit. I don't know, but at the end of the day, even if we lose him, we just gotta. I think everyone's fine, but I think we just all have to just let it play out. We got to let it play out. Yeah. I'm expecting wins this year. That's for sure. But
sure, it would be nice to see who we're going to get for a coach, right? Like, it'd be nice to hear something like soon.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Because like I said, right now is the dead period, but recruiting's about to kick off here with official visits in April and May. So like, we got to get a guy in and get solidified and call players, meet them, everything. So like, it has to happen very soon. Like, I hope they find somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, I think probably I would look for stuff to start moving probably early March sometime.
Yeah.
There is a tendency this time of year for you to hit that dead zone regardless of what your situation is. Now, we say dead zone, obviously they're working 24/7 over there. So I'm sure there's a lot happening that we just don't hear about because it doesn't make the social media or make the news. But and honestly, as I say, a lot of times that dead period is actually when most of the work gets done. So we'll see what's actually happening. Most likely we'll find out more in early March is what I would expect. But I'm pretty good with, like, I know the roster for 2026. There's some positional strength that I really, really like in the roster in 2026, particularly the secondary. I think the secondary is actually pretty loaded.
I think so too.
There's so many guys that, like, you got Aldavian Collins, Zion Tracy, Jeremiah Cooper. You've got some really good Iowa State players coming in. I think Hunter Sowell. He's still young, but so I don't know how much playing time he'll get next year. But there's even Daniels who came in. He was an Iowa State guy. He's promising.
Amari Miller too.
Amari Miller. And then, of course, you got like the who was it? Marcus Neal Jr., who's he, like Jeremiah Cooper's, bringing a lot of experience at the position already. So I really like the secondary. I think the secondary is pretty loaded at Penn State. I know that there's some concerns about particularly pass rush more than anything, which there's a lot of potential there. We'll just have to see kind of what happens with it. But I'm defensively, I think we're actually in pretty good shape. The offensive line I like a lot better now than I did two months ago. So the situation there is much better. There's a lot of high upside guys on the O line, and there's guys that you hope the new coaching staff will get them to take more steps forward. Cooper Cousins is a guy who I just think he's sitting on a lot of potential. And if you get the right coaches out there, that could take him to the next level. And he's one of those guys, I think if he gets next level, he's an NFL guy. So, but it's just a question of, can he take that next step, which maybe shaking up the coaching staff is just what you need sometimes to get a guy over the hump. So we'll see what happens. I still think Cousins probably ends up as a interior O-line.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in agreement with Landon Tengwall on that, but
guard.
I do like the upside we have a lot of quality players who have good technique in their previous playing that came in from Iowa State, and that technique, you could argue, is kind of what a lot of Penn State guys were missing. So I do like the idea that Cooper Cousins getting some time with a little bit, maybe better coaching staff could push him into the next level. So,
yeah, secondary wise, it's going to be Dixon, Cooper, Neal, Tracy, and AC. Tracy's going to be our slot guy, so he's not even going to be like Zion's going to be on the field, but our main guys on defense, it's going to be like Max Granville, McPherson, Bacon, Rojas.
Yeah, McPherson and Granville could end up being a really good combo at defense.
Camishu
in there.
Yeah.
And I think Blanding is also got to probably play a lot. Brett and I put the starters together here recently, but we also think it's going to be like Eskelson, Howard, Sowell at receiver. We got the Grambling kid. We're thinking Hanson's going to be the starting running back, but Cousins, I think, is going to start right guard. Donk is going to be right tackle. Burr, Acheline, and Riker, are going to be our other starting linemen. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. But absolutely, we got to let it play out, man. Like they're getting guys that fit, and now. 2 years down the line, if they're not doing well and they're also not recruiting big time names, then you got to ask some questions like, all right, what are they doing? Because it's not working. Yep. But I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Go ahead. I keep hearing that Gabe Burkle is a guy to watch too at tight end. I keep getting people saying, "No, I'm telling you, man, watch Gabe Burkle."
Yeah.
So
Rap's going to be our starter.
Rap's going to be the guy, I would think. Yeah, him or Brahma.
It's nice when you have a 6'7" backup at tight end. That helps.
Exactly, and that's assuming Well, if your worst case scenario is that Rapelier is your number 2 tight end and you got Benjamin Brahma 1, I would say you're in pretty good shape regardless. And if Gabe Burkle is 3, I think you're in good shape.
They're going to be. It's going to be a 1A 1B situation. Depending on what personnel they're running out there, right? They're both technically going to be starters in a way.
I can totally see goal line. You switch Brahma out because Brahma is bigger in the goal line situation, and so he's a great target in the end zone.
They're going to have two. They're going to have 2 tight ends down. Rapp's a great blocker, so
he is.
Reynolds is going to wish Reynolds the best. He wasn't that good at run blocking, and it's not going to get any better at VT. That's for sure. So they're going to make him into they'll be trying to make him into like a Rob Gronkowski or something. I don't know.
They have a bit of an awkward roster situation there because their quarterback situation really favors running.
Yeah. Virginia Tech, you mean?
Yeah, Tech. Looking over their roster, there's they have a lot of talent, but the way they mesh together feels a little off to me. But
none of it makes sense, especially the quarterback situation. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those, I guess, if you got there and you felt like the roster was just way behind, that blowing it up is not really worse. So maybe that's the case. But but at the same time, I look and it's if you're gonna have a dual threat quarterback, you generally want good blocking in your running backs and your tight ends, and because you need to keep those plays alive so that they can do things. And so we'll see how that goes, I guess. But Luke Reynolds would not be my first choice if I need a block at tight end. If I want to stretch the field, he'd be a high choice.
Yeah.
But,
Greg McElroy, I don't know if you guys saw what I sent last night in the group. Greg McElroy, He did a little section about Penn State yesterday. It's like 10, 15 minutes talking about how he thinks Penn State's gonna be pretty decent this year. He thinks they're a sleeper for the playoff, and so it's not just us thinking like they're sleepers for the playoff. There's other people. I've always liked Greg. He played at Alabama. He's a pretty good commentator. I like him on the broadcasting. So
yeah, he's a sensible guy.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know that was his take. That's interesting, actually.
Yeah, I sent it in the group, so I'll send it again if you want to check it out.
No, I'll just go back and look at it in the group.
Yep.
But
it's on ESPN, ESPN YouTube page. You know what I mean?
Yep. I'll check on that
one.
He played at South Lake Carroll in Texas. Greg McElroy. But they had that one show there, 2-a-days there at Hoover, Alabama. And I always thought he played there, but the one quarterback that played for Alabama with Saban, he was from Hoover. But that's an absolute powerhouse, Hoover, Alabama.
They produce a lot of players.
That was a great show, man. You can't find it anywhere. It sucks. I would love to go back and watch that show. But all right, Trinidad Chambliss, he's granted one more year. It's like a South Park episode. Like the judge is sitting there. He's like, "You didn't play one down in 2022, right, son?" He's like, "No, sir." It's like, "All right, you can come back."
Yeah.
He's got like his Ole Miss shirt on under his robe.
The judge. Yeah.
I guarantee you, man, if he was like a Alabama fan, he'd be like, no, sir.
Instant put down. Yeah. That's why they took it to a Mississippi court. Which is what they're all doing. Like they all do that now, because they know that NCAA can't do anything about it. But the funny part to me was just like he's going to get another year of eligibility, and my friend group came on and said, "All right, so I'm sending my letter of intent back to my school to let them know I'll be playing next year." I'm a 46-year-old guy.
I thought he was going. I thought he would end up going to LSU, though.
Chambliss? I don't know. Well, here's the thing. LSU spent $10 million on 2 quarterbacks already. So
Sam Levitt.
Yeah. So there was just no door for him, I don't think. And by the way, I was laughing. We were talking about how Ohio State and what's their names have between them they have 57 million. Ohio State and who was it? Texas? No. Who was it? They said they had $56 million or something between them in NIL. And I kind of laughed. I was like, well, that's what they tell you they have in it. Because I would bet you anything LSU probably has 60 million in it at this point. They're just throwing money everywhere.
Yeah. But Trinidad Chambliss is actually a good Trinidad Chambliss is actually a good quarterback,
He is.
Oh yeah. He impressed me in the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know he had some comparisons to Marcel Reed because they're both good arms, mobile, but Marcel Reed just
he's not
crapped the bed.
He's better. Yeah, Marcel Reed's nowhere near as good. Yeah,
no.
Inconsistent.
He just doesn't have the arm to make all the throws, which that's such a problem if you're an athlete like that, where you're an improviser, because you have to be able to make all the throws in that, because you're going to be doing weird stuff like throwing across your body and down the field, and so you have to have a really strong arm to make that work. That's why like Vic and those guys could do that, because they have monster arms on them, But Chambliss has a pretty good arm. He can make all the throws, and I think that's why he can get away with some of the crazy stuff he does. But
I mean, the bigger issue with it is, I don't know, this COVID stuff. Like it really got it knocked. It really knocked stuff out. Off the rails 100% across the board. But if this kid has an extra year, then he should be granted an extra year. That it is what it is. This quarterback class is horrendous for the draft. And, I wish Trinidad the best. He's a great athlete. He's a great player. And he gives Ole Miss a much better chance of winning. I think they're keeping Frosted Tips. What's his name? Is he the coach? Is he staying?
Charlie Weiss.
Yes, he's
the offensive coordinator.
Charlie Weiss became the head coach. They hired him as full time. So Yeah, he's a good coach. I mean, I think
No,
he's
Pete
going to do a
Pete
pretty good
Golding
job.
is who I'm
Pete
talking about.
Pete
Golding,
Golding,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
That was the opposite side. Yeah, Pete Golding was the other coordinator.
defense.
Yeah,
Yep.
Charlie Weiss went. Yeah, Pete Golding's a good coach. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, I do. I think Golding will do fine there.
Yeah, he
All right.
coached good in the playoffs. So I mean,
Yeah.
good coaching.
Um,
I was just gonna say, what was their reasoning for granting TJ Finley a 30th year? They should have just been like, dude, you suck. Just give it up. You've been playing for 20 years. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Because you can still get paid. It's probably a better
Yeah.
job than I don't know what he went to school
yeah,
for.
but this is
Presumably
what
he was
his
a
ninth
doctor
year or
by now.
something like that, right?
His ninth year, dude. Like,
Yeah.
He's been terrible every stop he went to. Like,
Bro, he was a freshman in 2018.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
We played him. We played him.
just think about that. We were losing to Dwayne Haskins in Ohio State at home when he was a
When
freshman.
he was still a freshman. Yeah. Wild, man. Wild. Yeah.
So
I don't know. Like I said, I get my letter of eligibility ready.
No way he doesn't have sciatica, dude. There's just no way. He has it. He has it. He's got it.
he's probably got multiple teeth that are hurting as well. So
We had a long discussion in the group. Actually, I was talking to one of my buddies today about it. Was how do you fix this in the NCAA? Because the NCAA has no power to do anything about it, right? And I thought Josh Pate made a great point that the NFL is probably your best friend now, because if anybody's going to help you fix the scheduling issues and things that you've got going on, it's probably going to have to be them. A great point was brought up that since the NCAA can't really control this eligibility issue, that the NFL could, because the NFL could come in and say nobody over the age of 24 is allowed in the draft. And that would probably, and the NFL has the power to do that.
yeah, they should.
But that would probably be at this point just about the only way you could get this eligibility thing under control.
Yeah.
Because none of these schools are private; they're all public universities, and that's why they're able to take these eligibility arguments to their local courts. So unless you can privatize college football, which is almost impossible since most of the universities are public, you don't have a lot of options. You almost need the NFL's help.
Yeah, you do. I mean, NIL in high school is going to get out of hand. NIL in college is out of hand. Yep. It's going to hurt everything.
Yeah.
But this BYU kid, he gets engaged to this 10 out of 10 blonde.
I saw that, dude. Holy cow.
And now he's charged with the R word. Yes, the R word.
Yep.
Very sad. And I don't know if his fiance is Mormon, but man, she's a pretty girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's in deep.
And he was a good player too. He was a good player too.
Mm-hmm.
So
now again, like Mormons are very they're very devout to their faith. Like they don't drink alcohol, they don't smoke.
Usually,
premarital is not a thing. And a lot of people, there are a lot of people that do that aren't Mormon, but it's strange, man, because BYU, like they're Mormon, and I'm assuming these two are Mormon. I don't know exactly, but it could be something as simple as like he didn't want to wait and it turned violent. I don't know, man. That's serious.
Yeah.
Like that's as vile a crime as you can do.
Yeah, and for that school especially, that's a blight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he just like I don't know what he did something that defined it as that, and that's bad. That's really bad.
Yep.
Especially to a girl you just got engaged to. You have the whole world in front of you, and then I don't know. I don't know, but that's a quick turnaround, man. That's a O.J. Simpson type of fall right there.
Yeah. He's gonna be spending his days in a jail cell.
Yeah, and I was watching the Arnold doc on Netflix again today for the second time, and they were talking to Arnold about. They were like, not to get off topic here, but he's like, yeah, for Terminator, it was between me and O.J. Simpson, but they didn't think O.J. Simpson would be a good enough killing machine, and they just left.
Oh my God. Jeez. Wow.
Which is literally why they didn't give him that role, because they didn't think he was too nice. They didn't think he would make a good killer.
Yeah, that's always the nice ones, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I feel bad for the girl. I feel bad for her family. Like that's horrible.
Yeah, that's wretched.
Like I think they just publicly announced that they were getting engaged.
It was literally like 2 days before. Yeah, he got arrested like 2 days later.
Yeah, and I guess she's a tracker. Is that? She's a track girl, I think.
I forgot.
She a track girl?
I also don't know.
But I mean, look at her, man. Like she's a really pretty girl.
Mm-hmm.
And now, what happened? That's crazy. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you go from being engaged to doing that? That's crazy.
I'm assuming it happened.
I'm assuming it happened before. Yeah.
Because I also don't know. They didn't mention, did they, that she wasn't necessarily the accuser?
I don't think so. I don't know.
It could have been a third party that wasn't related to any of this.
I imagine it's a third party. Yeah.
Because that was the impression I got from the article. But
yeah,
that it was another girl somewhere that he attacked, and that it didn't come out right away, so it probably happened a while ago. Because I think somebody said it was like a year after or something what actually happened, like it happened sometime last year. But that was the impression I got from the articles.
Okay.
So I have a feeling it was somebody else that he attacked.
Yeah, usually these type of things happen quite a while back before it comes out and goes public, and before the charges hit, right? Like those things take time. So it probably was 6 months ago or longer. Could have been longer.
So it takes a long time, especially if they were doing an investigation in the background.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm sure he knew about it. I'm sure. You know what I mean? Like if you're being charged, if you're being investigated, usually you absolutely know that you're being investigated for that. But sad thing. So Chambliss, I'm happy for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sad for whoever the victim was in that case.
Absolutely.
So feel sad for the kid too. I mean, his life is.
Well, he's done for. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done.
Stupid shit.
But Penn State, or I'm sorry, Ohio State and Texas Tech spent $57 million on the roster. So now I know Ohio State, the year they won the Natty, they were known for spending a lot of money on the roster. Michigan, I think they spent some money on their roster. Indiana didn't spend much on their roster. But the Big Ten is the dominating conference right now. And Georgia, Ohio State, Texas Tech, they're all dropping big bucks on their rosters.
Yep.
We'll see how it works with Texas Tech. I mean, their quarterback got $5 million. They got oil money down there. We'll see how it plays out, but this is like insane money, man. Like that's one thing that, Brett said this too. Like what's one thing Penn State will never be is just dropping money left and right on people. Like they're just not going to do it.
Probably not.
I mean, this is insane money, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah. But a lot of it's being, and this is kind of the thing I've noticed is like a lot of it's being paid by a third party, right? It's not even the universities necessarily. A lot of times there's a Mark Cuban behind it or a Phil Knight behind it. And you don't have that right now at Penn State because Terry Pagula's got his money tied up in all the Sabres and the Bills and building new stadiums. He's less interested in it than some of them are, right? Yeah. So like, yeah, sure. If Mark Cuban's willing to throw $100 million at me, I can pay anybody whatever I want, right? Mm-hmm. So, I would bet if you looked into if you actually got to look at their real books, they're probably more than 57 million deep. But that's just what they report because that's supposed to be the NIL limitation. So they don't want to publicly admit that they're way over it. But I would bet money that a lot of that bill is being fueled by some of the oil tycoons for Texas Tech, and then I forget who the biggest beneficiaries are over there Ohio State. I used to know
Oregon, USC went crazy last year. Obviously,
USC
spent
yeah.
they spent a lot of money, dude.
Well,
Miami.
Yeah. Like Alabama, they've spent a ton of money. Miami spent a ton of money, excuse me. But Spice, no, we haven't heard any updates. One thing I learned from the head coaching search is don't worry about any updates because it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
We were all aged collectively trying to get every little detail secret we could find about the head coach search. But yeah, we just got to wait it out, man. When he's hired, and I'm confident they'll hire a good guy. But man, it's crazy. Like $57 million, bro. That's crazy. Like that's the salary cap of an NFL team sometimes. Like holy, you know what I mean?
It's getting
Not really, but it's that's a lot of money. $57 million. Like NIL is insane.
That's where we're at right now. It's a dumpster fire.
Kirby Smart came out recently. He said he's like you guys don't understand how much it costs to keep kids in Georgia. Like it costs a lot of money to keep these kids in Georgia and go to Georgia.
Yep.
Now Kirby Smart, he's one of the last true real coaches out there.
Old school.
But man, he's adapted well. Like he drops the money.
He figured it out.
Dabo doesn't. Dabo never did. So you talk about coaches that need to adapt.
Yeah. I almost feel bad for Dabo. He tries to change and then immediately gets screwed over by that linebacker.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, come on, man. He's already hard enough to convince. Now look at what you did.
Well, dude, another person that, again, it doesn't really make sense, but another person who hasn't adapted is Franklin. Like, he didn't adapt either.
Not really. No.
He just did it in a very unorganized way. I don't know. But
he paid the older players, and that was it.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, Joe would favor older players because they put in their time, but I don't think, it was almost like the Joe Paterno method, if you will, for NIL, but he also didn't respect anything about the history of Penn State. So, again, it makes no sense at all. But coaches are going to, in some ways, have to adapt. Like Campbell, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know, man. Like Campbell knows at some point, you need to drop some money here and there at least. And Signetti will even do that. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. It really does come down to execution and fit at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to.
And there might be a learning curve for Campbell. He might he might think like Iowa State still in a way and be like, I'm just going to do it how I know how to do it. And maybe it bites him in the butt. And he's like, all right, maybe I'm going to have to change some things to adapt here. So that's something that we said, we'll see. We'll take a year and look into it. And, the Iowa State way, like on how he's done it, can work to a certain extent. Is it going to work in the Big Ten for Penn State? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know yet. We'll wait and see how it happens. Until the games are played, we're just talking about it. That's why we're here. It's all a guessing game at this point. And
yeah. And I'll say this too.
Don't know,
I'll say this too. You got to remember that Campbell came in. His staff didn't have time to evaluate the existing guys. No. So how comfortable would you be dumping $4 million on a guy that you have never evaluated? Your staff's never evaluated him, right? So I just don't know. Like his model could be totally different next year, and it may not have been like it just the lateness of him showing up. He didn't have time, and so when Chaz Coleman comes looking for $2+ million as a defensive end, and you're like, brother, I don't even know if you're any good. Like, hold on, just stop, okay? Like, I think you're good, but are you $2 million good? I don't know. I need time.
Yeah, we'll see. Like, I don't think there's a learning curve, but there could be, absolutely. Yeah, we just don't know.
I said there could be. We don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I said there could be. Yeah,
and if there is, then that needs to change. ASAP.
All the major analysts out there, the Greg McElroys everyone thinks Matt Campbell was a better fit at Penn State. Everybody, not just us. Like the national media, they were like, that is the best fit for Penn State. With James Franklin moving on, they knew that thing is expired. That thing expired a while ago. So
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And across the board, you know, between Brett and I, what we've been seeing is it's all positive. You know, fans, like everyone, I think is pretty happy with what they've been doing thus far. So yeah.
For sure.
But all right, PSU news to finish up.